Well, I was waiting for 107. Obviously, everybody knows the news that Maduro has been apprehended in Venezuela. There's pictures of him being arrested. Trump administration has had the most awesome press release about 10 minutes ago, and I came across this video that was released by none other than Barron Trump, and it's very, very, very emotional. So please watch. And I don't know how this is going to affect the markets. I don't know how this is going to affect everything. I do know that we can't have paradise on earth and have hell living right next door and think that everything is going to be hunky dory. So here we go.
Okay, as a Venezuelan American, I got some shit to say. My family, my parents, my sister, my extended family, all lost everything. Their work, their savings, their investments, gone. Wiped out by a narco dictatorship that has held Venezuela in a death grip for over 25 years. And what happened to my family has happened to millions, and yes, millions. The Venezuelan exodus is the second largest displacement crisis on earth after Syria. This is not just a tragedy. It is one of the great humanitarian disasters of our time. But the suffering doesn't end there. This regime has jailed hundreds of political prisoners. Thousands have been murdered simply for speaking out. More than a third of the population has fled. 1/3. Not for better opportunities or for the American dream, but to survive, to live, because staying often means death. And while the world may see Venezuela as a collapsed state, what it is in reality is an occupied one. Our territory, our natural resources, and our institutions have been overrun by hostile foreign powers. Iranian militias, Chinese corporations, Russian intelligence, all exploiting our country with impunity. Venezuela is no longer just a local crisis. It is now a geopolitical threat that endangers the entire Western Hemisphere. It has become a launch pad for an authoritarian expansion in the Americas. And in the midst of all of this, one woman has dared to lead the charge for freedom. Maria Corina Machado. In 2024, against every odd, she led a peaceful democratic uprising that won the election. Her team smuggled physical voting receipts out of the country, hard proof of victory that the regime tried to bury. Her courage has lit a fire in the hearts of millions of Venezuelans desperate to believe that change is still possible. But now some have questioned her decision to dedicate her Nobel Prize to Donald Trump. Okay, I get that. But here's the truth. It was a brilliant strategic move in the global chessboard of politics. Maria Corina is no fool. She knows exactly the kind of man Trump is. She knows how much he campaigned for it, loudly and relentlessly, to win that very same prize. She knows how symbolic and personal that recognition is to him. And precisely because of that, she understood that this gesture might be the thing that keeps his attention focused on Venezuela at a time when US presence and pressure in the Caribbean is rising. She didn't dedicate that award to flatter him. She did it to protect and preserve the one kind of power that could help shift the course of history. Because for her, this isn't about pride. It's not about optics. It's about freedom. And let's be very clear. Maria Corina is not asking for the US to invade Venezuela. She's not campaigning for war. Venezuela is already invaded. It is held hostage by a narco state, overrun by foreign agents and enemies of democracy, Russians, Iranians, Chinese, all operating freely, weaponizing our land and resources to expand their influence across Latin America. What Maria Corina is calling for, what millions of Venezuelans are praying for, is the support of the only military on earth capable of countering that threat and helping to free our people. This is not imperialism. This is liberation. She's not playing partisan games. She's playing for Venezuela's life. Because this isn't theoretical. This isn't academic. This is life or death. So yes, it is time to honor her bravery, but more importantly, it is time for the world, especially the free world, to recognize what's at stake. The fight for Venezuela is a fight for freedom, for democracy, and for the stability of an entire continent. If we truly care about liberty, human dignity, and peace in the Americas, then Venezuela's fight must matter to all of us. Que viva Venezuela, que viva María Corina Machado.
Well, let me tell you something. If you are a leader of a rogue nation like Venezuela, and I think there's potentially that we might go into Cuba next. If I was the leader of Cuba, obviously my ass would not be touching the chair because you're not going to mess with American military power. You're not going to do that because you don't stand the chance. That's all we've been doing is learning how to fight, building the best weapons in the world that are 20, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, in some cases 100 years ahead of the rest of the world. And we appreciate Barron Trump for posting this video on X. And I got a problem with social media myself. I mean, look, if we're going to win this war, we're going to win this war because everything happens, it has to fall in line. It has to fall in line because if it doesn't fall in line, then if the microphones are clogged, we can't get our message out. And it's important for us to get our message out. I am being stifled on YouTube, something fierce. Ever since I released the movie Dear Mr. President, okay, dearmrpresident.net, dearmrpresident.net. Go there, download the movie. It's free of charge, distributed everywhere. It's in Chinese, it's in German, it's in French, it's in Italian, it's in Spanish, it's in 8 languages. All right. I'll leave the link down below. I wrote a very elaborate 7-paragraph, very short paragraphs email yesterday, or a blog, if you will. And I tagged YouTube on it. I tagged your father on it. Okay. Donald Trump. I tagged Elon Musk. I tagged everybody who's important to try and stop the censorship. Your dad could just one stroke of the pen. Okay. A Bill of Rights for the internet, and all of a sudden, boom. I mean, the chances of this video getting to Barron Trump probably slim and none, but I'll give it a shot. So I'm crazy like that. Okay. And how is this going to affect the price of silver? How is this going to affect the price of gold, the cryptocurrencies? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that much of an effect personally myself, because I don't think it's a big deal. I think we're going to go in there. We're going to restabilize the country. I think we're going to put the right leaders in place. I think we're going to make sure that the people get something out of that oil that's coming out of the ground. And I think that Venezuela is going to be great again, like it was 40, 50 years ago. It was one of the richest nations in Latin America, one of the most powerful nations in Latin America. And because you got a couple of thugs that moved in who fix elections, et cetera, this is the result. So, by the way, if you guys still need silver, we have some at carminesgold.com. I don't know for how long. I have to talk to my partner, Andrew, maybe another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then it's going to be gone, because I'm going to tell you right now, I think silver is headed to $130, $140 an ounce very quickly. And I believe it's just a matter of time before it becomes scarce. All right. I made this video spur of the moment because I really was waiting for 107. He couldn't show up because, we went into extra innings with the press release, but it was an impressive press release nevertheless, which I watched it myself. And so he will be here at 3:45 today. In the meantime, I'm uploading this as is, and we'll catch you real soon with 107. Thank you, guys.